been suppressed. Another excellent author is Jim Keith, Sources of the Illuminati, who mysteriously died after attending a simple day surgery procedure. Thing New, near Tibet, lays the ruins of a monument and pyramid, remains of a royal palace containing thrones with sun and moon images. There was also a large milky white stone surrounded by exquisite drawings discovered in 1725. In 1952, a Soviet expedition arrived. The group was shown by Tibetan monks some ancient documents whose descriptions agreed with the 1725 discovery documents and described the milky white stone was brought from the moon. Could this be possible? Were we ever on the moon? All over the world, there are ancient rock drawings, paintings depicting rocket ships, flying machines, and astronauts. The Epic of Etana from Babylon, 4,700 years ago, supplies us with a very accurate description of the Earth's surface from progressive altitudes, descriptions which were not verified until the high-altitude flights of the 1950s and the first space shots of the 1960s. Ancient written scrolls also describe the moon, including landscapes, craters, and monuments built on the moon. This tiny golden replica of an ancient flying machine is Columbian, over 1,000 years old. It was tested in a wind tunnel. The aerodynamic styling resembles that of a modern aircraft. Right now, there are off-world activities and projects going on, including mining on the moon for helium-3, which is used for nuclear fusion for interstellar space travel. Other projects include the colonization of 5 planets and moons in our solar system. So now you know why so many sightings around the world. They can't hide this technology for much longer. past moon landings were blotted out to hide the artifacts left behind from our past visits to the moon. Some were even shot in a studio. The later moon landings were also blotted out, but this time to hide the activities from our advanced moon mining operations and colonization projects. UFO sightings are our own. Most of this technology is not alien, but a reconstruct from our past. The powerful, illuminated cabal have used every trick in the book to hide facts and confuse the public into fear and submission, and to stop you from knowing the real agendas of the world. Over 2 million people in the United States alone have been kidnapped and mind-controlled. Some were born into the roles they were given to play in society. Some victims are mind-controlled into thinking they have been abducted by aliens or reptilians. Other victims are used as fronts to head groups like researchers, channelers, New Age gurus, alien contactees, just to name a few of the misleading truthers. There are also government and private trolls setting up blogs and websites to discredit whistleblowers and real true researchers. These trolls put out hoax photos to discredit real findings and change public opinion. The rest of the population are easily controlled through every type of media, education, politics, and religious movements. This includes third-party opinion makers and so-called truth movements, which deliberately mix 70% facts and 30% lies to confuse and lead the half-awakened public in directions they wish them to follow. This is all child's play for this controlling group who know the secret of reality. The pieces of the jigsaw puzzle must be understood to come together. They're planning something big. In fact, so big it will affect everyone on the planet. But first, we need to look into our past, our real past. The shocking news is that all cultures began suddenly and fully developed 6,000 years ago. They did not rise to their peak. They were at their peak from the beginning. For the first 3,000 years of man's history, the growth of super technologies came alive. Scientists had unlocked a secret. Discovered our spinning planet to be a giant generator. Its land masses crisscrossed with energy lines. These magnetic currents they had harnessed across the planet was one big gigantic scientific instrument. Along these lines, situated at terrestrial power points, arose temples, pillars, rocking stones, circles, crosses, mounds, pyramids, tunnels, and platforms. Traces of these are dotted still around the world. You see them on every continent and even on remote islands. Thus, all over the world, thousands upon thousands of pillars called menhirs arose in symmetrical formation, their purpose to realign Earth magnetism from its natural meandering paths to straight, artificial lines. At each pillar, the electric current of the atmosphere was attracted to combine with the terrestrial current to produce a fusion of power, a secret we have not yet utilized. Interestingly, the standing stones were all rich in quartz, a crystal similar to that used with the cat's whiskers in early radio receivers. Modern experiments have shown that cosmic influences do affect magnetic currents at the Earth's surface, and that at certain seasons, rocks become charged with energy, which they release into the soil, stimulating seed germination and vegetable growth. Green tomatoes, placed within a magnetic field, have been shown to ripen 4 to 6 times faster. Seeds placed in a current grow many times faster. We have the technology to make the soils rich and fertile without chemicals. The energy lines were also harnessed for propulsion and also for transport. The old elite cabal want to hang on to the oil, even though the combustion engine is a 100-year-old technology. Another use of the network was power production and communication. Healing also resulted from this energy system. Millions of taxpayers' money was spent to fence Stonehenge in the UK to keep the public out during the summer solstice, whilst the elite members would participate in a healing and energy ritual. The big pharmaceutical mafia would just love that. Earlier pyramids were not built as tombs significantly. They were part of the worldwide network. For starters, 85 survive in Egypt, at least 4 in France, 1 radioactive, and in Bermuda 1 that is submerged.